individual coaching. It's about people who work together being willing to give and receive feedback, thus coach one another because you work together. That would be you managers and supervisors and directors who might be on the call who are able to coach your respective manager. You can coach peers. You can coach your direct report. You can coach your whole team. You're giving feedback and coaching in all directions. It flows up, down, and sideways because you're all co-workers. I've got a highlighter here I'll just maybe use for a couple of these things. Because you work together, you've got co-workers, it's an ongoing conversation process. So long as you work together in the same call center, on the same team, and in relationship with one another, you have the opportunity to be coaches for one another. That is a liberating thought, actually, when you think about it, to think that anybody truly can be a source of effective feedback for you that just might help you see something you don't see, just might help you consider something you have not considered, just might help you change your behavior so you're more productive on that next call. The colleagues, the agents you're coaching, they have that opportunity. So to the extent coaching takes on this robust, full expression, it really has a powerful impact. You base it in not a third-party assessment on the left, but personal feedback, because I work with you, I see you, I interact with you. We both have accountability for making changes because we're in this relationship together. So we focus on our working relationship, how we make things better, heal our conflicts, move forward, become more open to giving and receiving, responding to one another's feedback, and we focus on our collective work performance, how we're doing things together, serving our customers who we deeply value. So that's the genre we're working in, not the professional coaching, but the collegial coaching one. Moving ahead. I'm going to skip this one and have us talk about our best coach. Who has been a best coach for you? We'll do this in the workshop as we kick things off there. So we'll come back to that one, folks. It would be important maybe to spend just a moment taking a look at our terms. How do we define these respective terms that we have? Whoops, there we go. It's on page 10. Interesting, the source of the word coach. It's become such a popular leadership team and management competency. As you know, it's really come on stream very strongly in the last decade or so. Its roots are in an English a name for a carrier. Sorry about the ringing in the background. It's actually someone from Time Warner Cable calling me, but I'm busy talking to you. So whoever's calling me, if you're also on the line, I can't pick that call up. Sorry. Coach, an English name for a carriage, some kind of a vehicle or a contraption that took people from one point to the other, point A to point B, one place to work, someplace else, hopefully where they want to go. So it's an incredibly adaptive and appropriate word because that's exactly what coaching does. It helps people move forward, helps them move and shift either their awareness and their perspective, the way they think and the way they behave. It helps them up-level their skills and get more results with people and get more results for the business. So that's where the word coach really comes from. As people begin to look at the word coach and have maybe considerations on why they think it's something they could, should, or ought to be doing or not, often it's possible that people will have reasons why they don't think maybe this is the greatest thing to do. Maybe I should just make sure people know what I want them to do and tell them. Well, this whole boss to coach transformation is something we'll talk about in a few minutes. But at the get-go right now, what it's not about abdicating or giving up your authority. It's not about losing control. What it's about is exercising your accountability to lead other people, and absolutely, rather than losing control, you really gain influence, because now people have a different kind of relationship with you. They don't see you as the boss and they do things because you tell them to. They see you as their coach, and you're supporting them become effective and successful. They want to go where you're suggesting. It creates that kind of a relationship where there's more rapport, there's more openness, there's more trust, there's more knowledge that you as the coach are in their corner. You want them to be successful. You're committed to their success. So all of those factors compile you able to gain more influence. Does that make sense? It's not about dumping feedback. It's about sharing your perceptions, what you're noticing, what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you're suspecting is true. Feedback framed that way absolutely is more hearable. Back on agenda, it's not pushing your agenda, although you have a business agenda to quote-unquote push. The idea is to create a shared agenda where people that you're coaching say, oh yeah, this is important. I see how I can get there. I see why this is important to the business. So things like sharing vision, mission, strategy, core key objectives, and then the goals they have, the role that they're in, why their role is so vital to customer satisfaction, obviously leading to business success. All those things are key elements of what really takes people to understand their role and the impact that they can have. Rather than in your busy call center environment, I know this is a trap for lots of folks these days, pretending to listen, kind of going through the motion. Instead, it's really being engaged to learn from them. You want to share insights and ideas and suggestions. Sometimes you make requests. Sometimes it comes to you got to state a requirement. This is what needs to happen. But the point is you're engaged with them in a learning conversation as the coaching unfolds. Not about, therefore, giving unsolicited advice. It's providing input so they can make better choices. If we start treating people more as the adults that they are and allow them to make choices, then that's the way people get empowered. That's the way they feel like, oh, I can control this. I can choose to do this. I can pay better attention. I can be a better, more active listener. I can make sure I use the protocol to explore the untapped sales potential that's there with this client, the triple play, all the great things that you have going on that you've got protocols around. Well, passing on ideas leaves people at choice rather than directing and telling them what to do, which is kind of the last point here, giving orders. Well, you give orders when it is a matter of moral conduct or it's a matter of the law. There we need compliance. There are certain things that people need to be in compliance with. I understand that. But beyond those few things that we need, like human safety, you wouldn't have people recklessly endanger other people working in the call center because of some unhealthy habit they had or behavior. But you want to essentially, the most you can, every place you can, create commitment to this new direction, commitment to start thinking differently, commitment to start behaving in different ways. So that's one way to begin to define our term, what coaching really is as we work with it. The next thing I'll go onto the next page is in page 11 there in your workbook is a short definition. Take a second, read that. I need to pause for a second, so take a moment, read that. Okay, he's back. I think coaching is not a science. If it was a science, I could do everything the same way with every person every time and get the same result. Wouldn't that be kind of either interesting or helpful or curious? But it isn't, is it? People are wired differently. They have different levels of awareness and skills and motivation, levels of engagement. Everything is different. Their personality, their style, how they do things, how they listen, how they organize their work, right? So to effectively connect with people, this is very much a communication art. And in doing that, and because one size does not fit all, I guess is the main point. So it's very much an art. The focus of our conversations is assisting people to enhance their effectiveness and all the things that affect their effectiveness, like the way they think, the way they process information, the knowledge level, the skill, the behaviors, the things they actually do and say, right? The things that they do and say is what causes them to get the results that they get. The idea then is to do these and have these kinds of conversations that are focused on effectiveness enhancement, if you will, and do them in such a way as people feel helped in the process. They do not feel criticized. They do not feel beat up. They do not feel manipulated. They do not feel controlled. All kinds of the negative things that often can be the case if the coach is doing things indelicately or insensitively, or just they're doing a terrible job. People feel all kinds of negative things. So then the word coaching takes on a real negative tone, a real negative twang in the culture. It's like, okay, I've got to coach you on something. You come here, Tom. I'm thinking, coach me. Must be something wrong. I must have screwed up. Well, if we have an experience of the coaching that we're receiving as being helpful, being respectful, I am seen, I'm checked in with, I'm asked how I see things, all of those things that engage me in the process, I will feel helped. I will feel like this is a positive, beneficial experience. The fact is, we can actually deliver bad news, there's a performance issue, there's a problem, there's something we need to address right now, we can have a conversation that's really urgent and talking about what's not working, and do it in a way that's positive so people feel that was actually good to sit there and hear this and talk this through and come up with a better plan. It all comes down to our tone and our demeanor as we coach. Coaching, as much as anything else, is about tone. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. You got it. I could hear you thinking it through. Okay, so that's our high-level working definition of what this coaching process is really all about, what you'll be reading about in the book then as you get through the chapter 3 or 3 through 6 in the textbook, The Heart of Coaching. It will build upon this and walk you through the roadmap. Here is something, I wish these were numbered. Tell you what I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you to use the question pane and type in. We'll do something more formal with this at the workshop on the 28th. But you can see the key things that I've broken out here as elements of the coaching conversations that makes them powerful. Some building rapport and trust, setting clear expectations, paying attention, being present, clearly stating the topic, making sure it's a good time, confronting, sharing the feedback, great questions, all the way down to supporting the person. Pick a key word there, if you will, on this question pane and type in, if you had to pick one of those things that you wanted to work on for sure in this upcoming workshop, type in what that is and hit send. Just put in the keyword, sharing feedback, confronting, I see trust. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The first one that came in, thanks for that. What are some other folks that are on the line going to type in? Effective listening, accountability, being present. What else is grabbing your, there we go, I see questions, asking effective questions, building trust again. Trust is so important. Without trust, it comes in a third time. Hot dog. I'm glad to see that because coaching, I think, is fairly dependent upon the quality of the relationship I have. And if I don't have a good relationship with trust and rapport and respect, then how can my feedback get in? How can they even hear it from me? Well, why will they trust me to be telling the truth? Well, I see accountability coming in now twice. Thank you. Sharing accountability for the outcomes. What is it you as the director or the manager or the supervisor may have done to inadvertently set things up that maybe didn't go quite so well? How can you share accountability? Confronting what needs to be confronted. Absolutely. Fantastic. Well, you're naming key things in the whole process that we're going to make sure. I'm going to have a printout on everything that you said on this log, the question log. So I'll make sure that it is the emphasis for how we work together when I see you on the 28th. Those are the key things that we'll do. We're going to cover a whole range of things, the entire roadmap, which you're reading about in the book, and have you had a chance to practice. But I'll make sure we focus on these things as well. So another few seconds, you want to type anything else in. This is to get you thinking about, so what's in this for you? What is it I can work on getting better at as I go to work with the agents I work with? Exploring options for change, right? Being more open, being more collaborative in how we do that. It's one thing to tell somebody what to do, right? But it's another thing for them to believe that it's their own idea and they know what they're going to do. They have a clear game plan. Exploring options for change is really important. Follow up, follow through, absolutely. Thank you, team, for tossing that in here. It really makes this come alive, and you're thinking about it now in a way that I'd hoped you would. So thanks for your input there. Appreciate that. I'll have the log, and again, that's going to be our focus. We'll do the self-introduction together when we're there. You can have 100 people. You'll be seated probably about 6 people per table all around a rather large conference room. Going to be one of the local hotels. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll do the introductions there. This is to give you just a high-level kind of a quick overview on the 7 tools. We're going to try to get through as many of these as we can. The first 3, I'm on page 14 of the workbook, as you can see. The first 3 of these, 3 different applications, if you will, are using the same full transformational coaching roadmap. The TC roadmap is the